I'm Timmy.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Nathan.
And this is Three Old Tech Dudes.
I have nothing to say here.
We're going to talk about the Indy Classic Vintage Computer Expo post-show.
That was fun.
Our
That was
experiences.
all kinds of fun.
Kind of very post. We got a little behind.
Yeah.
Busy people, right?
Yeah,
They're just within a month. So
yeah, they're all finishing up Cocoa Fest.
They are
today,
Mhm.
actually. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I really wish I could have gone to that, but there's no way. I had too many things going on.
But anyway, the Indy show, the Indy
Yeah.
Classic, it was a good show. I thought. I mean, I guess I don't have a whole lot to compare it to, other than the section of it that's dedicated to that type of thing at the Louisville Arcade Expo.
Yeah.
Because this was kind of my first. This was my first really like just more computer centric show.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It was, for me, I've been to, I don't know how many thousands of handpests at this point, and some of them had bits and pieces of this, and then of course the Louisville Arcade Expo.
No.
But
Mhm.
this was a whole level of like, well, so for me, it's like walking in and going, oh, these are my people. All right,
Right.
cool.
That was my favorite part. It's like I have often felt weird messing with some of these old computers. Not like weird, but it's like you don't just talk to general people about it because like,
No.
why,
They don't care.
why you do that? You know,
Yeah, they
and,
don't care.
You're like,
and,
yeah, I got the 6809 having issues, and like most people are like, is that like some kind of drug reference? Like,
Right.
no, it's a microprocessor from the 19th. You're never mind. You're just
they just simply don't care, and that's fine. But it was really cool to be around people who seemed as excited about the things we brought to exhibit and the other things, and that was just a really cool thing, I thought, and it was a great experience.
Oh yeah,
met a lot of cool new people, hopefully new future friends that I'm sure we'll run across again. So
yeah, a couple of them were like, I didn't realize they were as big as they were until I saw what was it? Is it AJ is his name? I keep forgetting.
Yeah, Forgotten Machines.
Forgotten Machines.
Yeah.
And like I talked to him for a while about the TRS-80s that I had brought,
Mm-hmm.
and he was, he's all kinds of fun. Like I said, I had because I don't watch that much YouTube for that kind of stuff. Oddly enough, I do like a little bit, but I was watching. Oh, was it? I remember the name of it, Yogashi something electric, Yoshi electric. Anyway, the guy out of Texas who's built a vacuum tube computer, which is really cool.
Oh, that's sweet.
And he was working on some issues on a mini desktop mini computer, and he had called. He's like, I know the perfect guy to call to have and this guy has like 100-some thousand subscribers. He's like, I know the perfect guy to call for the issue with this tape issue, the tape storage you have problems with. And it was AJ. And I'm like, oh, I know him. Well, that's cool. Yeah. Total fanboy moment there, honestly. But yeah,
that's really cool. The cool thing, and I'll see if I find it. I brought it home. He gave us a photo AJ did of himself with a TRS-80 Coco from when he was a kid.
Yep.
And he had obtained one similar, which you'll see here in a bit in the clips. And
and I've
really
the computer and the same model television, as I recall.
he did. He had matched the television that he'd seen the photo
that is
with.
something in a feat in itself. Like I've attempted to do that before, and they made a lot of variations of televisions.
Ooh, yeah.
Did any of you have a particular exhibit that stuck out as something that you really enjoyed?
A couple. There was one fella that had a relay computer built out on like a big piece of cardboard that was really neat, and it was controlling like a remote control car in a little cage.
Yes.
Yeah, that was neat.
So I got some of that too.
Look at this.
30% vinegar. It's like you don't want to touch it.
The patience it would take. The patience it would take, right? Let's make it a clip. So is it running this deal?
It would appear. But it says dilute it like 60 to 1.
That is crazy.
So I did about half, and I think he just put straight on. Yeah. But I put it on there, and I don't know.
Did you get any feet in your face? No face?
That is awesome.
But I just figured hopefully the damage that was slowly being out.
There was a guy who brought an exhibit just on the old text computer game Rogue, starting from its mainframe origins, and had an example of that running on a terminal, and then a PC one and one on the Commodore Amiga, I believe.
I thoroughly enjoyed the robot arm.
Yes,
that was by far my favorite, and I was just amazed by it. I don't know why, but I was just amazed by it.
Yeah, that had the ARM programming. Was an Altair 8800.
It's an Altair 8800.
Yeah, that was good. So the ARM is actually switching all the switches. All
the fella, he called his thing Cheese Car Systems, which amused me.
Sure, all the switches are off first.
Is that like a kind of a flexible lever? So
it's a 3D printed little finger.
Okay.
So, well, for two purposes. One, to give it some flex as it pushes the switches.
Yeah.
And two, if it rams the finger into the front, it's plastic rather than aluminium.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If something goes wrong.
A couple of fingers have given their lives for the sake of that Altair front panel. Which is fine with the 3D printed. I could have a dozen of them in a day.
What do I need?
Actually brought the box of spares.
Expandability. Completeness.
Yes.
Fun. Obsession.
Yeah. And the finger tube is controlling the PDP 11. It's just awesome.
Clearly, it's the right way to automate program those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but there was something for everyone there. There was a good representation of just all sorts of different systems. Some of them a little more niche than others.
Yeah.
There was a telephone exhibit there.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Plenty of Apple stuff. If Apple IIs are your jam.
Well, you should tell the story of that.
So then there was, gosh, there was DOS boxes there. I mean, just it was a good representation. I felt like of the of computers gone by.
Absolutely.
Well, especially as a guy just walked up to you and handed you it's friend of yours, but handed you an Apple IIc.
Yeah, tell us about that. Yeah.
It wasn't just a random guy. I guess.
Well,
it's a good friend of yours. Yeah.
Friend of yours. Yeah.
So
I'm like,
I've known for several years now. Decided to surprise me with a Apple IIc.
Yeah.
So
that was really neat. And so yeah, we finally got Justin into some sort of older computer. So and he's spent some time with that thing, haven't you? You got a few things going on.
Oh yeah, I've traveled the Oregon Trail. And I didn't die of dysentery. You got sick. I don't remember what you had.
Oh, I remember.
Died in a river.
Or Timmy.
Yeah, I think Nathan drowned. Drowned.
Oh,
you lost me and ammo at the same time.
You were probably clinging to the boxes of ammo, going, "No,
right,
we need this." Yeah, exactly. Oh my, yeah. I think there was that relay computer was neat.
Yeah.
The guys, I have a card, who were CNC parting. These guys that had this card.
Oh, the augers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
Auger and the
the stuff they were doing was really neat. You could buy it from them. They were building it, but there were
lots of mods like that, and they had some really great stuff at their table.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I will say it was a kind of a humbling experience because there were a large number of those guys that were way smarter than I.
Oh, and that was so cool though. It was really cool though. I actually enjoy being around people like that, and it's just like, wow, there's the guys getting computers working that I wouldn't have a chance with.
Yeah.
Another cool thing was one fella up there had seen an old computer here in the Bedford area where Nathan and I live, and asked, I think in a comment on our past video, if actually he emailed us, but he saw our video and kind of made the contact through us that way. Had Nathan pick this up in order to trade it for a TRS-80 Model 1 monitor.
Yeah, which is over there.
Oh yeah.
what was your guys' thoughts on spending the whole day? You guys actually put more time in up there than I did, since I commuted a couple times back and forth. Justin and Nathan actually stayed up there in Indy and kind of were part of the whole deal.
Yeah, that was actually really neat too. And then running into the guy from Roland.
Yeah, that was a neat story.
How that happened, but yeah, that was pretty cool.
Well, now you got to tell the story.
Well, we just were having dinner after the whole thing in the evening, and Justin and I were just walking back in the lobby, and this guy walked by us with a 808 shirt, which is a drum machine. And I just looked at. I didn't recognize the guy off the top of my head real quick, but I just said to him real quick, I'm like, hey, nice shirt, or love your shirt, something like that. And then it just kind of spawned from there. He's like, oh yeah, I like you. He's like, you play music? I'm like, yeah, I play keyboards and stuff like that. And I know this. And he starts describing. He's like, oh, I work for Roland. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I've seen. Okay, yeah, you're on. Like Sweetwater's videos has like he's on there all the time. There and several other Sweetwater's I know from. I was just kind of like, wow, that's kind of very random and really cool. So it's just odd. He was not connected with the show. It just
happened to be there. I
happened to be there.
Yeah.
So in the same hotel, but
yeah, that was pretty
still
cool.
kind of cool and something that I guess we wouldn't have experienced if we had commuted like you did.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, like I hadn't slept the night before the event very well, so I was dead tired. So like I was in bed by like 9:30. So I kind of missed out on some of the after show festivities. But
yeah,
unfortunately,
they had like a bunch. I'm not like a late guy. There were people, I guess, in the lobby till like 1 a.m. or something like that. And I'm like, I need to sleep.
Yeah,
I would have done that, but like I said, I was so tired because I didn't get any sleep the night before.
It's cool because it was an easy camaraderie, more so than Hamfest. And I don't want to pick out Hamfest. So guys chat, but it was really cool because everybody had common interest, at least one basic common interest, and it's old computer stuff in general. I know there was a guy to our right. His name was Damon. I never got the name of the guy with the TI-99. Did you get his name? That was to the left of our table.
I did not.
I didn't either. He had a cool setup. So
think I have his card, and I don't remember where I put it.
Oh well. But the last day, right before the end, I met Joe N9TAX, another ham, who had a really neat display. I'd looked at it through the day. He had a breadboard computer, and I think it was the Bin Eater 6502 that I'm planning on building. It was pretty much, and I decided to go digging around for that, and so I'm going to be working on that too.
That's cool. Yeah.
That
makes me want to get some of my stuff out and do it, but I need to take the time and actually do it. I've got so many projects. I mean,
speaking of projects, let me go find something and let you guys keep talking. One moment.
Okay.
He's gonna go find something. Ooh, he took himself off and everything. Ooh. Dang.
Wow, Terrence.
Pressure's on. It's just us.
But now the talking. Well, and then I was helping Ken with the computer that for a while, and then we got that one actually running, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the hard drive still worked from mid 80s. It was
that's
really
a miracle in itself.
Yeah. We got that hard drive running, and it was like it had like a sector 0 error, but on those old ones you could essentially bypass that,
right,
and get it to work anyway. And it had an MFM card in it, so it was like a 20 meg drive or something like that. And then I was helping him work on his TRS-80 Model 3. I think it was a 3. And we were just, I'm sitting there, I'm laying on the floor of this room, in the middle of a show with all this stuff going on. I'm just laying on the floor with like probes and stuff like that. And they're looking at voltages on this thing. And I'm like, okay. And I have my laptop set up with this schematic. I'm like, all right, we should have this voltage here. And we've got this. So I think it's this part's bad for this issue. And then.
Right. Yeah. And I thought that was really cool when you were out helping. I thought, I just thought that was a really neat deal that you're like, let's go do this.
Well,
you guys
just a lot of that at the event.
Should have videoed it.
I thought that was really cool. Was that there was just so much of like everybody was willing to help everybody.
Yeah.
So that was a fun experience just in and itself.
One fella had an Osborne and it let out the magic smoke quite dramatically. And then before long, and we'll throw that in here before long. AJ was coming in giving him the Magic Smoke Award, the first ever at the Indy Classic.
He got the first to smoke.
Yeah, apparently that's a thing at like Vintage Computer Festival Midwest and shows like that. So,
And here at Indy Classic, Forgotten Machines will be presenting it. It's a tradition. It's always passed on to the next person at the next show who is first to smoke. So, let us give a grand applause to our. For you from Forgotten Machines. So, please pass on, and this is my requirement. There you are. Applause for Andy, the First to Smoke Award. Thank you. And this is by request of the maintenance staff, so I simply grabbed this from my van. Just to appease everyone. So, presented by Forgotten Machines. Congratulations. And when the next person is first to smoke, your present, you pass it on. Excellent, very nice. It happens to the best of us. And it smells good. It smells great.
But they had that thing fixed and completely running.
it was back around the next day.
By like the
Yeah.
next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they started recapping it like immediately
Like,
after.
immediately,
pretty
yeah.
much.
Like,
Yeah, I
freak
remember
out
he was over there talking to Matthew Jones, who has an Osborne, the guy that I had kind of sort of in our video last year.
Yeah.
Really knowledgeable on those sort of things. They got
yeah.
it going. So, speaking of Joe N9TAX, he was selling these. Check this out. Oh, I got
Oh, the big ones. Yeah, the big.
Make myself. I can't lost my mouse.
Yeah.
Stupid StreamYard. Anyway, he was selling these 3D printed replica chips. So I got a
The 65.
classic MOS 6502, as seen in the late 70s and early
That's
80s
cool.
in plastic form as a decoration. So
That is
$5 is all he was selling these for.
Yeah. He had a
Somebody told
bunch
me
of them there.
Somebody told him, a bunch of different processors. Somebody told him he should take those to VCF Midwest in September. He'd make a killing.
Oh,
He
yeah.
probably would.
I think you should. I'm hoping that we can actually get to VCF Midwest. That would be fun.
September 13th and 14th. So
In case she's wondering.
that's far enough out that we can figure that one out probably. So,
Yeah.
but
What I'd
this
like
is about Indy Classic, and it's really cool.
Oh, yeah. This is was it their third or fourth?
Fourth, I think they
Fourth.
said.
Yeah, this is one of those. If you are in anywhere near Indianapolis, I would highly recommend it.
I'd say
It
within
is-
the several states, because a lot of that's
Yeah.
something else I noticed there. I don't know how many local folks were there, but the majority of the exhibitors came from very long distances. One guy
Oh, yeah.
came from Frankfort, Kentucky. I think that Joe in 9TAX I was mentioning is up from like the Valparaiso area or
Yeah,
something.
but he's-
That's
Val-
nowhere
I think it's
nearby.
Valpo, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Those the guys with the 8-bit device. These guys. With that.
yeah, I don't know where they're out of. They came from
Detroit.
Detroit, but they came from another show that was up there too. So I don't know if that's
Yeah.
actually where they are
Um,
officially, but might be.
Well, yeah. So I'm not sure where AJ is from, where he's out of.
Iowa, I thought.
Chicago? See, Iowa. I thought it was.
I think you
I
said
thought
it
it
was
was
Iowa.
Chicago, but yeah.
No.
That's really cool too. But yeah.
I would say even if you don't nerd out about the hardware, I mean, even if you were just a gamer in the 80s or 90s, it's worth your time and your, I don't remember what their entry fee was, but it's worth it just to, I mean, because several exhibitors, including us, had old games running on their hardware and you could sit and play them.
Oh yeah. And that's a really cool deal. I liked when Justin and I brought the machines up on Friday. We brought my Super Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man that belongs to all three of us right there.
The Pac people.
The Pacs. The
Pac
Pac
people.
twins. We brought them up on Friday, and we mentioned looking for the spot for them, and the guy we chat with, he goes, "Oh, you guys are the arcade guys," and Justin and I felt very proud of that. I was the arcade guys, so it's like, I suppose we are.
I bought a couple of NES games while there.
Oh, games!
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I bought so many games.
Oh.
I also I got a copy of Diablo 3 now.
You get that up there?
Yeah, there's in a pile of stuff. But at that 800 right there.
Yeah, that was really neat. Here, let me make you bigger, so they're not looking at a quarter of the screen.
Yeah, which so you can see it there. Yeah, bump the keyboard. Yeah, mouse. No mouse on that.
Oh, no mouse.
Well, yeah.
Too
I don't know if they ever made one for that. Might have, but So that's an original 800. It's like, I'd say late 79 production. I'd probably look that up, but it came with, the guy gave it to me for a real decent price. And it came with, what, 2 or 3 joysticks or more, maybe 4, 2 power supplies, a bunch of games. I think what else? A few other things. So like every time I find one of these things, they don't like come just as a computer. They'll come as the computer plus other things. And I mean, the amount of stuff was, the problem is I go to these shows and I knew that I needed to take money with me because I was going to buy things. And I should have, this was decent. This was a good price.
Yeah.
And most everything there was a good price. Like you could buy an Osborne one for a couple $100 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Nothing there was like insane, ridiculous price. If they were selling, not everything was for sale, but if they were selling it, it was, the prices were really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, really good. I was actually kind of amazed by that because I was expecting, oh yeah, I could probably find like an Atari 800 for like $400 or something like that. No, this one anywhere near that price.
Right.
And I was happy. I think I was selling that Vectrex for like, what was it, like 500 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Those go for real money.
They do.
Because his was completely running.
He had an Odyssey 2 as well that I'd never actually played an Odyssey 2, and it was a fun little machine. Joe next to him, that fellow I was talking about, N9TAX Systems, I think is what he calls his little group.
Yes, yeah.
He had a really oddball item that you won't hardly ever see, and he had a Japanese Nintendo Famicom, the Japanese version of the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Mm-hmm.
That's not so uncommon. What's uncommon is he had the add-on keyboard and software to play with and develop BASIC, and the manual was only in Japanese. I thought that was pretty cool. So, but I saw some people messing with that at one point and managed to get it into BASIC. So it's just something you'd never see in the US. Is really neat.
I can't remember his room. I think it was room 2. There was like an entire like row of tables just dedicated to like Japanese only machines or whatever, like Japan only machines. So they were like, and like, and some of these I'd never heard of before.
Sure. Yeah.
A few of them I had. I've heard of Famicom. I've heard, a few of the other ones, but it was like, wow, that's like a complete pile of these things. They had like PAL monitors to run on them because they weren't running on NTSC, and they had like various things like that. And I was like, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
That took time to think that out, get all that working too, because you can't really buy that stuff here necessarily.
No,
you can get it imported, but
something that had like the German stuff too.
Yeah, and the one guy had all the German
Commodores.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I was trying to think. Yeah, there was some PAL stuff there. Japanese stuff is actually NTSC, believe it or not.
Yeah, I think
one of the only other countries that does. No, they don't. They only do NTSC.
I think I've
researched it.
Well, I know they make stuff for other places, so I'm not sure. But
I'm sure that. Yeah,
I've seen a lot of their stuff be. So back in the day, I worked on a Sony monitor for I think it was IU.
Mm-hmm.
That was both NTSC and PAL. You could actually select back and forth, which
that's actually pretty convenient.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of neat. And this is not like today. You can actually just buy a flat panel that does that. This is a CRT TV.
Yeah, it's weird, especially since one would rely on 50 hertz versus 60 hertz. So.
Yeah, it changed a lot of things when you flipped that between the two.
I bet.
Yeah. But
tell you this, you haven't lived until you have transported 2 Pack People games in the bed of an old Ford Ranger going down the interstate.
I am dedicated to getting people to play these games, I guess. So
That's true.
Do you suppose there's an arcade game ahead?
I don't know. I'm gonna check this lane too.
Change your lanes, Nathan. Change your lanes.
Yeah, I got it. She's rocking pretty good now.
I don't see the games moving independently of the truck, though.
In half a mile, take exit 5.
Yeah, I would rather the whole truck move than the gears be moving. And yeah, they're definitely not moving. I can see it in the mirror.
I would hold that opinion to a certain degree, but after a bit, I think I just let them go. Not that you have any say in it, you're just kind of along for the ride. You're just a driver.
Take exit.
Now, the trip up probably wasn't nearly, it was interesting.
Oh,
and I rode shotgun with Tim on that one, but the trip back was probably even more interesting, and I was behind him.
That was a little windy.
But he pulled it off. I mean, it's just, I wanted to get him up there, so that's what I did. I wanted to take at least 2. So,
and the thing is, I think it felt sketchy, but like the games never moved.
No.
So it was really fine.
They traveled completely unscathed both directions. It's about an hour and 20-minute drive one way.
Yeah. You could see the whole truck moving back and forth with those things.
They
were sailing the wind too, but
yeah, so I say it's like having a sail on your bed. So the whole time.
That was pretty wild, actually, watching.
Great for gas mileage.
Oh yeah, that poor Ranger used 3/4 of a tank of gas both directions.
Oh wow,
almost a full tank of gas, which is usually better than that. So
yeah, that's oh my,
took all the horsepower. But anyway, it's a good show.
It was a good show.
It's a cool club up there. I'm impressed by the membership being all over the region and things like that. And hopefully we'll make one of their Saturday meetings one of these days. So
yeah,
it's a little ways out for us, but we enjoyed the show. And any of you guys who are at the show and ever want to get on the channel here and visit with us, let us know, because we can talk about those same subjects all the time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We, get someone else's perspective or see any other shows that are coming up too.
Yeah.
If you know a show that's coming up, let us know down in the comments or shoot us an email or whatever. So we could, we know, because we don't sometimes, like I had never, until like last year you went to this one.
I did.
I'd never heard of it.
Yep.
Mind you, still like 4th year, but still it's one of those things. It's like, I had no idea it was around.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I just was Googling around for it the previous year, because there had been some vintage shows of some sort that other folks had held up there. It may have been these same folks.
Yeah.
And we never made those earlier in the channel's life. But yeah, I dropped by after the Columbus Ham Fest in 2024. And this year I said, well, let's go check this out. And before we knew it, we decided to go all in and get a table and exhibit some of our goodies, since we love hoarding the goodies. So
well, a lot of people come up and play them too. So that was cool. Yeah, I brought
there for
a bunch of 3 of the Cocos.
Yeah.
So I thought the one thing that I thought was kind of fun. So I brought a Coco 1, a normal Coco 1, and a Coco 2 that was a 64K Coco 2. But so it's like a later one. Yeah. And then I brought one of the oddest Coco 1s. Several people are like, is that a Coco 1 in a Coco 2 case?
Yes, you have the
oddball. No, it is a last effort. I'm assuming Radio Shack was simply getting rid of the rest of the motherboards, but
I bet
it's a Coco 1 in a Coco 1 case shot with a Coco 2 plastic.
Yep.
And they only show up in one catalog, according to RadioShackCatalogs.com. They're only in one catalog.
Yeah.
So that would have been like 3 months.
I also found that on a wiki that backs up everything you'd already discovered too. That was a very short-lived unit.
Yeah. And I've got one. And, it's sitting there.
Equally cool was your 4K first gen color computer that does not have the extended basic ROM. I thought that was cool. So
does not have the and the serial number is 4 digits.
Yeah.
So it is
early creature.
Early one. Yeah. And it's perfectly fine. It just only has 4K of RAM, so it's a little not knowing what's going on too much around it. Yeah. So you do have to have 16K of RAM to make a Coco be with advanced basic. But
right, so you would need more memory anyway. Yeah,
yeah, would have. So I have not upgraded that one intentionally because I want to leave it.
Oh yeah, I think there's a lot of merit in having that. Yeah, especially that you have the machine in multiple versions. So
yeah. So, because it's one of the things I'm just trying to collect bits and pieces of that history. I find it fascinating. Hilariously, where I found that odd Coco 1 was, Ryan, friend of ours, found it. I think it was at Dinky's auction house.
Oh, that's neat. That's always cool when you find them in some odd place.
Weirdest place, because this is essentially an auction that usually has like stuff for like farming.
Justin picked you up another cocoa in Salem the other day, didn't you?
Oh yeah,
it's right.
They're all everything's right there with you.
Well, it's physically sitting. That's it, sitting right there.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Oh,
I see the side of it. Okay, I see here. All right, since we've got the viewers trying to see it, it's right. It's right under the TV. So that's the side of it.
That's it right there. Yeah, and it's a 16K one with the video outboard.
Yeah,
or mod.
Yeah, that's somebody modded. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to demod it and remod it to make it right, because he kind of it's a little weird the way it's wired, but I'm just gonna it's working, but he ran wires like out one of the other holes. I'm like, dude, just drill 2 holes, put the jacks in the back. I mean, it's not like you're gonna hurt the value of the thing,
right?
There's not 2 or 3 of these out there. There's millions,
right?
So I think you're okay with drilling a couple holes, especially if you got the video output board. So
sure, yeah, it's a good show. I think, guys, we'll leave with the outro, and then after this, I'll go ahead and run all the clips that we got and put them together here. So
awesome.
Here in the just hang around after the outro here, guys, and check out all the scenes of Indy Classic 2025 that we managed to grab. So, hey,
that'd be cool.
Till next time, I'm Timmy.
I'm Justin.
I'm Nathan.
And this is 3 Old Tech Dudes.
To be honest,
I'm a hardcore amateur, I guess.
That's right.
Watts of
so think so you're carrying your little world. I don't rate this even. You're good.
Check that. There is no ROM on board. It's probably
What's that remind you?
Game machine.
Yeah, keep looking around. In the 4th room, there's a healing. That's what we
So these are actually
I guess micro versions is always
it's like this big, and it's like
that you were probably 100% correct. I'm not calling you a liar. I'm not asking for a refund. I'm just giving you a status update. Did you ask?
And it was $10.
It was they believe it. Because there's no damage to the board.
okay, well, where's that at?
Yeah.
All right? Yeah. Good. Yeah. Just 2 years older.
Retroactive just take a clip it.
after I figure out how to make those work for that sticking out yellow in.
Right.
And then like runs back to the car.
Oh.
Okay, with the original copies, so they're available.
And I have some Commodores and some Osborne back. So I try to cover everything. Yes, yeah, exactly. All right, well, we're going to... But it's got spray.
It's like a outside. It's actually he has no media
I've never seen one of these in real life. They have some do.
the Timmy die.
Hey. So I got some of that too.
Look at this.
It's like you don't want to touch it.
The patience it would take. The patience it would take. Right? Let's make it a clip. So is it running this deal?
It would appear. But it says diluted like 60 to 1.
That is crazy.
So I did about half, and I think he just put straight on. But I put it on there and
That is awesome.
But I just figured hopefully the damage that was slowly being due to that solder maybe sure all the switches are off first.
You have like a kind of a flexible lever, so
It's a 3D printed little finger.
Okay.
So, well, for two purposes. One, to give it some flex as it pushes the switches.
Yeah.
And two, if it rams the finger into the front, it's plastic rather than aluminium.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just, if something goes wrong,
A couple of fingers have given their lives for the sake of that Altair front panel. Which is fine with the 3D printed. I could have a dozen of them in a day. Actually brought the box of spares.
Expandability. Completeness.
Yes.
Fun. Obsession. Yeah.
And the inner tube is controlling the PDP.
Generally, it's the right way to automate program work.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us here on 3 Old Tech Dudes. Please subscribe to us here on YouTube for more tech old and new, tinkering at the workbench, repairs, ham radio, electronics, computers, and more. Please like this video and share 3OTD with your friends to help us grow the channel. We tweet at 3 Old Tech Dudes 1 on Twitter, and you can keep up with us on Facebook. Just search for 3OTD and look for our logo. Thanks so much for watching.